You are listening to WTUZ Radio Podcast. This is Rhonda with WTUZ Radio Podcast. Okay, family. This morning, child, we had a long night last night on our live broadcast on YouTube for the Truth Uncompromised show. And we had so much high-packed information in that one show that I'm literally, just to get certain pieces of information out of that broadcast, I'm going to chop some of it up and put it on the podcast as well. This one literally is a follow-up from a podcast that I did on an update regarding a melanated family in California, in LA, who was getting land back, and specifically a parcel of land on Manhattan Beach. So shout out to Niecy, Pooh, Tameka. She does the land report for us, and she did an excellent, absolutely excellent job doing this research. We never would have known this information had she not looked into that whole Bruce Beach situation a little deeper. Okay, so I wanted to share this with the podcast family. So number one, we understand what is going on regarding land, and also remind, as a reminder, of how land is truly confiscated and how land is being used and how land is being held. Okay, so let me shut up. I am going to replay that part. Let me do a little technology here for the family. And again, thank you to Niecy, Pooh, Tameka. This was excellent, excellent research. So here we go, family. Just a second. Let me bring this up, and we're going to get into it.
All right. This is, y'all, let me tell you, okay. Like Auntie says, blinking 75 times. So I'm reading this news article that just popped up, and I'm like, this is not new. This is actually old news, right? Mm-hmm. And it was talking about the Bruce Beach situation.
Oh, yeah, in Cali, and wasn't that Manhattan Beach in LA?
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I'm like, okay, why are they, this is posted by the New York Post, December 16th, which is today. So I'm like, why is they posting this today? Like, this ain't new news. But the title is, LA County is searching for legal heirs of famous Black-owned beach resort. And it baffles me because I thought that the heirs are the ones who came to reclaim the land.
Right.
So why is LA County searching for the legal heirs?
Okay, I'm trying to pull up the article so we can read. Which publication is it?
This is New York Post.
Okay, good. I'm going to pull it up. I got it. So whenever you're ready.
I actually know some of them Bruces out here in LA.
Somebody else told me they knew him also. You the second person that said that. Okay, I'm ready whenever you're ready, Niecy, Pooh.
Okay, so I'm going to be reading from there, and then I'm going to tie it in to a bill that was passed in California legislature. It's SB, which stands for Senate Bill number 796. State parks, state beaches, County of Los Angeles, Manhattan State Beach deed restrictions and taxation.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm going to read a little bit of the bill, but everybody who lives in California should probably pull this bill up.
Mm-hmm.
This is for Sister Sandra. She's not with us.
She's not here tonight. I'll text her and let her know.
Yes. It speaks specifically about the Bruce Beach situation in this bill, which is why I wanted to read a little bit of it. And then the other part is Los Angeles Times, Bruce Beach can return to descendants of Black family and landmark move signed by Newsom, which was September 30th. That's when we was all celebrating, because September 30th, when we first got the news, we was like, okay, a family got their land back.
That's what they said up in the article, but keep going.
Yeah. So now fast forward a couple months later, it's saying they're looking for the heirs. So which one is it? Did they get the land back, or are they looking for the heirs? That's not making no sense. So let's read this article and see if we can dissect this.
Okay.
All right. LA County is searching for legal heirs of famous Black-owned beach resorts. LA County is hunting for the closest relatives of a Black family who was robbed of a well-known beach resort 100 years ago in order to transfer ownership back to them, officials said Thursday. The former site... Go ahead, brother.
No, I just think it's so nice of them to go out of their way to do this.
I know, so nice. Right, out of the kindness of their heart.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, one of their so-called public officials said that don't come to Los Angeles because it is like the purge.
Sure did.
But we'll keep reading. The former site of Bruce's Beach, once a scenic vacation spot for African Americans, run by Charles and Willa Bruce, was seized by the city in a racially motivated eminent domain grab in 1924, according to the LA County Anti-Racism, Diversity, and Inclusion Initiative. The county is working with a legal team to find the couple's closest living heirs in a process that may eventually include DNA testing, officials said.
They don't want to play around.
Please be
Wait
advised.
a minute though, Niecy. Pause for a minute.
No $5 Indians on that board.
So, they trying to tell us they already have people's DNA on file, who they know who the land belongs to, or am I just reaching and...
No, that sounds about right. That sounds.
You gotta have something to compare it to.
It's not making no sense. I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading. Jalen, do you need something? Okay, just shut the door quietly. All right. So I'm in Jalen's room hiding. Okay. So please be advised that under California law, the legal heirs are the closest living heirs. Okay, y'all catch that?
You know,
I caught that. Mm-hmm.
Closest living.
The closest living heirs.
Cousin of a
Meaning,
cousin.
okay, children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Not cousins,
Oh, shut
not aunties, not uncles. Children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
Direct blood.
That's the same shit that they pulled at the with the Dawes Rolls. Yep. So if you were trying to get into the Cherokee Nation, you would have to have you'd have to be the child, the grandchild, or the great grandchild. It couldn't be an auntie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it couldn't be an auntie on the roll, and you could prove that was your auntie. You can't join.
Although
the Cherokee.
It's still the same bloodline, they're full of it.
Right?
They're full of it. Mm-hmm. They are full of it. All right,
you know, when Regina King and her like family bloodline was like in that museum or in that database and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, cause that's just weird. Like what? Like,
yeah. What was the name of that HBO series?
That was the Tulsa one, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was kind of like sci-fi-ish.
Lovecraft.
No, I wouldn't Lovecraft.
No.
But we not Watchmen?
Watchmen. Yeah, because that freaked me out when she went in there, and they knew exactly who she was, right? Child. I'm sorry, Niecy.
They just trying to collect some more stuff because they're just like, what? How you want DNA test people and know that they the immediate heirs unless you already got something to compare it against? That's DNA is a comparative science. You can't just have one set and just be like, oh, you just doing tests on this one sample of blood, like
right? They would have to compare it to something, and I do know now. This is just me. Dang, Sis Sandra, this one we need you to be up in here to confirm. But when folks, mothers give birth in a hospital, I think that's when they're tagging folks stuff also, because I don't think either one of my grandparents were born in a hospital. And then they start making, I can't even say they started making. Melanated people started going to the hospital to give birth. But that's only recently. I think my parents were the first generation to be born in a hospital. Okay. So I believe that was a ploy to tag people's DNA, and then also you want to flip that to the financial side. Y'all know what I'm trying to say on that side too. Okay, far as giving you that number and all that jazz. But even with that said, they would still need to take that DNA and compare it to the original indigenous folks.
They would have to have all this on file, which means how many other families or bloodlines do they have on file?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
This is why is this family so important? Why is this land so important that they want to return it back to the heir? Why are they not
if you zoom in on a, I'm sorry, brother, go ahead.
No, I just why don't they? Normally they will just absorb it into the government as a federal property, right?
The county kind of already did that, didn't they? Well, not a federal property. They made it a county property.
Right.
They need that bloodline. They need that blood. That's what I'm saying. It's like Lovecraft. They need the blood. Yeah, they want the land too and all that, but they want the fucking blood.
No, but they can run their legal trickeries and saying, well, if we can't find the legal heir in X amount of time, well, it's considered abandoned. If it's considered abandoned X amount of time, it's now legally ours. They can run their trick.
They've been doing that. I think where son Scotty is going, they're really after
sign up to get that land. That's my bloodline. Yeah, that's
exactly. That's really where he's going with that.
But they can take your blood and they can find out though if they really wanted to.
Well, what he's saying is that's really the prize. It's not so much finding the heir as it is getting people's samples, DNA samples. Is what he's saying.
More than just when you were born, because when you born, you fresh out. You ain't been tampered with. They need it now after some things that happen, after you've been institutionalized and governmentalized and indoctrinated and all types of shit tested on.
So you're saying this is a play to get people to come forward and give up their DNA, essentially?
I think that's part of it, but I also think that if you look at the article and you zoom in, standing behind that lady with a yellow shirt on is a brother with some feathers on his head.
I see him in the green shirt. Yep.
Yes, and I think I've seen his face before in this whole situation, and I think that what's going on is there's probably an internal struggle within the family. So over control over the land. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm speculating.
And you think he's probably an actual heir, a real bloodline?
I think they probably both are, but I think he, you know what I'm saying? Like he might just be the nephew, and then the one in the brown vest, he might actually be like a grandson, And he looked like he boule, and he looked like he a wild.
Right, I was about to say
exactly, because I'm looking at the features.
Some of the family done took the deal, and some of the family ain't taking the deal.
And I'm gonna tell y'all
back
something.
in the day.
You guys are joking.
Peep that handshake. Peep that handshake. I'll leave it there for a minute.
Yes, this is just like back in the day. Some folks is gonna take the deal and work with the feds. And some folks is like, no, we need to keep it within the family, the real family.
Child.
Yeah,
because that handshake looks like yeah, we're good. We're good now. It's public. We're good.
Okay, you got it. All right.
I mean, that Bruce surname, we know where that goes back to.
Child. Okay.
So how did the indigenous American man get called Bruce?
See, in 1924, it looks like they had that land in 1912. If I'm not mistaken, they bought that land in 1912. And if you look at them land patents, a lot of them were still being handed out, especially this far west around that time.
That's true.
I got a question.
True.
Hey, go back to the picture before you leave. Is the young lady in the middle? Is she wearing a
child?
Okay, sorry. Go back.
She got a turtle on her.
A turtle on her.
Yes, she do, child.
As if she's claiming indigenous,
child. She's standing there proud. What you talking about? She's standing there proud.
That's game. She got planted there. She's not there accidentally.
Exactly.
She did happen in front of her, in front of the turtle.
She don't look like nobody that none of my relatives or.
Why is she so important to get stage front?
And her outfit, they picked that out too. She all bright and yellow. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I noticed that immediately with her with that turtle. And check the hand sign. Check the hand sign.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She just seems like a plant.
Child.
Got fringes on. Hold on.
Yeah, let me blow it back up.
Yes, she does.
She's wearing an indigenous like a bag with like a purse. That's what it is.
She got her Emmy on.
Yeah. Somebody had the nerve to slap a turtle, representing Turtle Island. Child, if y'all don't get on out of here.
Auntie, the opposite.
God.
She grabbed that bag from an indigenous person before she went up there.
Probably did.
This is an
Yeah, but this picture is cold, y'all. All of this is cold.
Yeah, they know what's going on.
And you see the way the dude in the back with the feathers on that looked the most indigenous out of all three, all two of the other ones. You see the way he looking at the governor?
Yeah, he kind of cut eye.
Yeah.
He's the exact opposite of the guy he's shaking his hand to in energy-wise.
It's like, somebody cut a deal.
It's like, I would kill you if I could, nigga.
Yep. Somebody cut a deal. Child.
Write a picture is 1,000 words.
Yeah, that's deep. But just the fact that they're going to have the Caucasian lady standing up there with a turtle on her vest and fringes.
She's repping Indian gala, Indian gala. That's what I'm saying. She's either she has some bloodline she's not telling us about, or there's something that they're not telling us within this meeting. And
then Native Americans
where the pale Bruces stand up.
Right?
And I guess what be getting me is that those that say that they're Native American that look Asian to me get pissed with the indigenous melanated folks, get pissed with us, but y'all not pissed at these white people sitting up here far from looking like either one of the groups.
Auntie,
y'all comfortable with this?
No, Auntie, they're blood family. They go back to England. They go back to the other
Asia. That's true.
Asia. That's their cousin they're looking at. No wonder why. That's why they have no issue.
Child, they better all go on with the foolishness now.
The play is on us. The play is to get us off the land.
Y'all so funny. Let me get through this.
Okay.
You brought this to our table,
right?
Bro.
I mean, you know us. You brought it up.
It's no land report, darling. We're just here to freaking listen.
All right. So the County of Los Angeles is working with the legal services firm of Hinojosa and Ferrer LLP. That's probably who them folks is standing in the front. That's probably the legal firm. So they probably done came and tried to hijack.
Oh,
and
y'all.
And now they working, yeah. So
you see the Asian man on the left, right? Y'all peep game what they telling you in this picture?
Yes.
The Asian man on the left, the Caucasian lady in the middle. Look like some black Europeans involved in this. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to start nothing with nobody. And the indigenous Indians standing in the back.
Black European. And then you got the Iberian looking black, the mixed one.
I knew you was gonna say it. I was gonna say it.
And then all right. Disgruntled American Indian in the back, like y'all.
Yeah, the one Indian in the back,
right,
getting overshadowed by the blonde girl,
right, with his feathers, child,
being blocked out.
Okay. All right, Niecy,
all right. So they're going to be conducting a thorough and transparent legal heir determination process. All right. The move comes after a bill allowed officials to transfer the site, which is currently run as a lifeguard center, to the descendants of Charles and Willa Bruce. All right. So we already know the story. The article goes to talk about the story.
Okay.
I went to go pull up this bill because I wanted to see what the heck they talking about. So the bill is SB 796.
Okay.
I'm going to try to skim through it to get to the good parts because it is long. Well, it's not too long, but I don't want to take up the whole show with this. So y'all, let me just try to skim through this and get to the good parts. Existing law requires the Director of Parks and Recreation, upon the adoption of a specified resolution by the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles, to grant to the County of Los Angeles. What? That makes no sense, but okay. Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles to grant to the County of Los Angeles in trust for the people of California all of the rights, title, and interests of the state of California and specified state beach property, including a portion of Manhattan State Beach. That is the beach that we're talking about. All right. Existing law requires the grant to be made upon the express condition that the County of Los Angeles use, operate, and maintain the granted lands and improvements only for public recreation and beach purposes in perpetuity, which means forever, ever.
Right.
Existing law subjects the transfer of those rights, title, and interest in the granted lands to be specified restrictions, including prohibitions on new or expanded commercial development on those granted lands and on the sale, transfer, or encumbrance of those granted lands. Okay, here goes the good part. The bill, for purposes of determining the full cash value of Bruce's Beach upon its sale, transfer, or encumbrance as authorized by the bill's provision, would require that the fair market value of that land be its full cash value as of the 1975 lien date, adjusted by an inflation factor determined as provided. So basically, it seems like they're going to hold the land in trust and give them some money. That's what that part sounds like to me.
Is that any different than how they operate the 5 civilized tribes? Aren't there stuff held in trust?
Exactly.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay.
Operation.
Existing law, the Documentary Transfer Tax Act, which I need to read that because I have never heard of that. Existing law, the Documentary Transfer Tax Act, authorizes the Board of Supervisors of any county or city and county and the legislative body of any city within the county to impose by ordinance a tax at a specified rate on each deed, instrument, or writing by which any lands, tenements, or other realty sold within the county is granted, assigned, transferred, or otherwise conveyed to or vested in the purchaser or any other person if the consideration or value of the interest or property conveyed or vested exceeds $100. So basically, anything over $100, we need to be overstanding this Documentary Transfer Tax Act because they are imposing a tax.
So they're imposing a tax on what? On
the purchaser.
Basically, that Transfer Tax Act allows for any county, city, or any city within the county to impose a tax on everything.
So anything on that land has been monetized by a tax, federal tax,
or any profits made on the land. They're saying they can impose.
No, it doesn't even have to be profits. You can convey land. You can basically sell me your land at value. As long if it's over $100 of value, it's taxed.
Yeah. So
how's that giving land back? What am I missing in this picture?
That's the part that I'm trying to figure out, because they talking about this extra stuff. Yes, they turn it. Look, honey, they basically saying we gonna tax the hell out you. You think you gonna turn it into a casino? You ain't doing that. Not over here.
Because y'all know.
You hear this next.
Okay, because Manhattan Beach is prime property, y'all. That's one of the best beaches in California. I'm sorry. Go ahead on, Niecy. Pooh, ciao.
All right, it says the bill would exempt any sale, transfer, or encumbrance of the portion of Bruce's Beach in accordance with the procedures described above from a documentary transfer tax imposed pursuant to the... Okay, so basically it's saying that part that's going to be given back to the family is not subject to that.
Oh,
tax.
Okay. It's excluded. It's excluded.
Yeah.
Okay.
And y'all forgive me because I'm reading this for the first time too.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
All right. So it says, here go the good part, y'all. Here we go now. All right. It says this bill would state that its provisions are severable. This bill would make legislative findings and declarations as to the necessity of a special statute for Bruce's Beach. A special statute for Bruce's Beach. Okay. This would also declare that it's to take effect immediately as an urgency statute. Now here goes section 1, and this is where y'all go drop y'all jaws and your locks is go flying back.
Child, this is why I got a smartphone. Child.
The people of the state of California do enact as follows. Section 1, the legislature finds and declares all of the following. The United States of America has never fully addressed the institution and practice of 250 years of chattel slavery.
Wait, blink 75 times. Blink. Keep going.
The ideology that established and maintained it has left an indelible stain on the fabric of this nation and is embedded in virtually every facet of American culture and civil society.
So wait a minute. Before you go on, I already know where this is going. No, go ahead. Keep going. I'm gonna shut the hell up. Keep going. Ow! Go ahead.
The legacy of the intentional structuring of opportunity, implementation of policies and practices, and assignment of value based solely on skin color and other physical characteristics has created and continues to create unfair disadvantages for Black people, aka you niggas. C. Racial discrimination has prevented entire communities of people from achieving their full potential due to its manifestations, including but not limited to the implementation of Black codes and Jim Crow laws. The wise widespread and accepted practices of lynching and sexually assaulting Black men and women, voter suppression of Black Americans, a false concept of separate but equal schools, state-sanctioned housing discrimination, and a form of redlining and enforcement of racially restrictive covenants, disparate access to and substandard treatment within the healthcare system, police brutality in Black, aka nigga communities, this misguided war on drugs, and mass incarceration. C. Racism aggravates and exasperates historical inequities and consequently deprives marginalized communities of access to land, economic opportunity, and a stable future. So they pulling a race card.
Yeah, I'm reading this. I'm like, child.
They pulling it out hard too.
Yeah, they are. This is deep.
The experience of Willa and Charles Bruce is an example of how racism against Black people has reached crisis proportions and has resulted in large disparities in family stability, health and mental wellness, education, employment, economic development, public safety, criminal justice, and housing. In 1912, Willa and Charles Bruce purchased the first of 2 lots of land along the Strand in the city of Manhattan Beach and turned the location into a seaside resort that welcomed Black beachgoers from all over and became colloquially referred to as Bruce's Beach. The rest of it just kind of gives the history about how they were deprived of their property and deprived of their opportunity to own their own business on their land, and how, you know, the fraudulent appropriation of land from private persons in general, and especially on the basis of race, is against the public interest and denies individuals and communities the right to enjoyment, the right to own property alone, as well as in association with others, the right to inherit and the right to control one's property. Now here goes the other part, and after this, I'm gonna let y'all talk on it. This is section 2. This is where it gets pretty interesting. Notwithstanding any other law and upon the adoption of a resolution of acceptance pursuant to subdivision J, the director shall grant to the County of Los Angeles at no cost to the county in trust for the people of the state of California, and subject to the conditions set forth in this section, all of the rights, title, and interests of the state of California in lands and improvements thereon, generally described as follows, and more particularly described in the deed. Parcel 1 of unimproved land known as Las Tunas State Beach. Parcel 2, 31 acres of improved land known as Tameka State Beach. Parcel 3, 46 acres of improved land being a portion of Manhattan State Beach. Ha ha, did y'all hear that? 46 acres of improved land being a portion of Manhattan State Beach. So you ain't getting the whole damn beach. You only getting the part that your mama and your daddy had, and you ain't gonna get the whole thing in restitution. Nope, not gonna happen. Parcel 4, they should have, look, this is how I look at it. If they done took something from these folks and it's due back, aren't they due interest on what they lost?
You would think so, absolutely.
So why they taking 46 acres and putting it in a public trust right there? That makes no sense to me.
But you know what? Peep game though. You notice that they took this opportunity for this Bruce Beach situation to put all this shit in trust. Are you peeping game?
Yep.
Their trust.
Yes. So basically, state of California, there's a few more beaches. I'll read the rest of them and then we could digress from there. 26 acres of improved land known as Redondo State Beach. 18 acres of improved land known as Royal Palms State Beach. 30 acres, and it's actually 30.64 acres, but I'm not going to read all these decimals. Yeah. Being a portion of Point Dume State Beach. Approximately 15 acres. I know you still know where some of these places
Yeah, I
was
know
at.
you know.
Yeah, that's a nice ass part of the beach. That's a nice ass beach. Yeah.
Yes. 15.12 acres of unimproved land known as Dan Blocker State Beach, and that includes Latigo Shores. Approximately 10 acres of improved land being a portion of Malibu Lagoon State Beach, known as Surfrider Beach. The grant and trust for the people of the state of California made pursuant to subdivision A shall be made upon the express condition that the County of Los Angeles shall use, operate, and maintain the granted lands and improvements on the granted lands for public recreation and beach purposes in perpetuity.
Forever and ever and ever.
And shall comply with all restrictions specified in each deed and prescribed in subdivision. The county shall not make or permit any other use of the granted lands and improvements. A violation of this prohibition or a violation of subdivision shall constitute a breach of conditions for purposes of paragraph 2. And if you want to read paragraph 2, GTS, look at that shit.
So just to make sure that we're clear, Niecy Pooh.
Thanks for that report. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is deep. This is deep. So they done set up and taken the California beachfront, some of it, not all of it, but a huge amount of it, and they put it in a trust.
Mm-hmm.
And are they saying the beneficiaries of the trust are the people of California? Is that what I'm reading, or am I jumbling it up? Because I need to know who the fuck are the beneficiaries.
The family, is it not?
I didn't see that.
Mm-mm. They basically said that the family of what's the Bruce's beach family name? You know who I'm talking about,
Yeah,
the couple, the married couple, Willa and Charles.
Yeah.
Their little portion is excluded from this. That's what they're saying.
Which is a small portion. So again,
Yes.
the rest of these beaches, they done rolled up in the trust. Now, is that accurate?
Yep,
That's
and
fine.
it says the grant and trust for the people of the state of California.
Yeah.
They're supposedly and allegedly the beneficiaries.
Yep, and because the United States of America is discriminating against people. So because the United States of America is so bad, what's the name of these assholes? The state of California is going to come and save everybody.
So who's the trustee?
The trustee, I think, is the they had in the beginning it talked about where is it? I gotta go back. Board of Supervisors, I think.
For California,
I think
right?
The Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles, I think, is the trustee.
Yeah, there it is. Board of Supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're the
Sound like
trustees
something
because they're the
happened.
ones granting to the County of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
You see how they be doing shit, y'all? And no, this is not new. That's how they always set it up.
But question now, does the family actually have more rights than what they're giving off? Because it sounds like they're making a deal here. We're going to give you the access to 40-something acres without taxation, and the rest of it, we're going to do whatever we want with. But we're going to leave this little portion for you alone. But it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, that they actually own the whole thing.
No, the family didn't own all of that beach.
Okay.
They only owned the portion that the resort sat on, right, Niecy Pooh, or am I wrong?
I'm gonna see if I can find a land pad. And
It just seems like they're so nice to this family. Like, why don't they just push them off? Like, something just seems...
Because the game is, nephew knew why. This is what they funk ass has always been doing. They
Right.
find a token who signs the deal.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's that
And they
handshake.
take a portion of that token. Okay, here's your cut. And the rest of this shit, we gonna roll it up under a trust.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like there's more to this deal that they're not really mentioning. Like there's something else that because they gave them the land with that deal of not touching it.
To be honest, they really are mentioning it. You just got to know what you're looking at. You got to understand how trusts operate. To be honest, they are disclosing it. This SB, what the hell is this? SB 796. This is telling you exactly what they did. They're telling you. They're literally telling you the Bruce people got their piece. They're excluded from taxes. So nobody can mess with that little parcel of land that they had that resort on. Everything else, we're rolling up into a trust. And the beneficiaries are the people of California. My thing is, how the fuck did the people of California own all of this?
Or Nevada have the right to have a trust.
And the people of California sounds kind of fishy language to me.
I think the people of California is nothing but another entity.
Right. It's a backdoor way for them to pay themselves. It's like...
No, there'll be a
it's deeper than that.
The people of California.
It is actually a entity within itself that I'm sure rolls up to another trust or a holding company.
These people
that goes probably back to either on the federal side or goes back to ultimately those bloodlines of Europe. Those original colonizers.
The people of California refers to this.
How are you going to make money off of it? How, like, and where's the money going?
Well, you know how they make money off of it. They're going to tax it.
The use of the land.
Right. They're taxing the use of the land. Absolutely. That's how they're going to make money. Now, I don't know about the rest of these.
Right. That's what I mean. So you're not doing that. The people didn't request for you to tax the land.
Exactly. That's why I'm questioning. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they're trying to save the money that they're going to get.
Into these coded word entities, like you said, a fucking company within a company or whatever the fuck, however they do it. Like,
exactly.
But at the end of the day, that handshake that they was giving, it was like they were shaking their own hand because they know, like, we all about to split this shit amongst ourselves. Like, it's not going to no fucking people.
Right, and they can't, to be honest, they can't even split it among themselves. I'm telling you, what's going on is these trustees are going to manage this trust, but I can guarantee you the trustees report to another holding company or trust.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I can guarantee you that's how it works. Because they can label people, but it's really an organization, just like a company can be labeled people. They can interchange the two.
The people of would be an actual company name, the people of California. So you're thinking, oh, it's people. It's a corporation, bro. Don't worry.
It's going back to either another holding trust, another trust or a holding company.
Yeah.
And notice how they threw forever and ever up in there.
That was the part that had blew me away.
Fucking laundering. That's just.
But that's how they've always done it, though. That's how they've always done it. They always have somebody that steps up and say, "This my people shit." Oh, okay. Yep, this your people shit. This the deal we're gonna give you. And the fact that they even got the balls, but because people don't read and because melanated people don't know who the fuck they are and believe that they are indigenous to the land, this the type of bullshit and fuckery that happens. What the fuck do Tunas, Topanga, Rodonda, Royal Palms, Doom, Dan Blocker, Malibu. What the fuck that got to do with the original claim of the Bruce family? So they use that whole Bruce family claim because they know it's a small portion of indigenous people waking up like, wait a minute, what the fuck? And they secured this shit in a trust. They just took that opportunity with this Bruce situation to basically say, yep, we paid out, but the rest of this stuff is going in a trust forever and ever and ever on behalf of the people of California who are the beneficiaries. Well, how the fuck they the beneficiaries, bruh, when they're not indigenous to the land?
And I think they're looking for anyone else so that they can stop them from holding claim. Because if I come and find out now that that's in my land, I can say, no, I don't want that to be this way. And
you know why? Because they're going to say it's in trust.
Yeah. In trust.
Trust is the hardest thing to break in their law system. That is the hardest contract to break.
This is why they're making it public that they're looking for the heirs. So
absolutely.
That if I and no heir comes up and says anything after X time, it's now permanent. It's their land, essentially.
Absolutely.
And these guys are...
Yeah, but that's how they've always done it. That's why when you go back to those original state charters, the one that King James them issued and King Charles them issued, you'll see, and some of them, not all of them, but if you do enough research, you'll know either that particular parcel of land rolled up to one of the holding companies, or it was put in trust. That's how they fucking do business. That's always how they did business. This is about business for them. And as long as we are under their fucked up laws, statutes, and code, which don't benefit you and they will never benefit you, these are the games that they play. So if other indigenous people step forward and say, well, what are you talking about, blood? That's my people's shit. Here, I can prove it, yada, 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 yada. They're going to have hell because now all of that stuff is rolled up into trust.
Y'all, I just went to another source, the records, the Glow Records, and it has the Bruce family in California. They got 6 pages of land documents. 6 pages.
You know
but
how,
I can't find
how soon those documents, the dates on those documents?
I think the earliest one was, I think, the 1860s. And then the latest one
during the Civil War. So you're telling me 1860s during the Civil War, right?
1864, 1865. Yep.
During I'm blinking 75 times during the Civil War, during when they were either destroying, creating land patents, creating deeds, and assigning them motherfuckers to whom they wanted to assign them to, and created the Dawes Rolls during that time frame, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's the earliest I could find one. The latest I'm seeing is 1917. That's the latest one. Yep, but most of them are 1864, 1865.
Yeah, right during the hijack.
Yep.
And the switching of the identities and all of that. This shit is so layered because we don't know if you're melanated, if that's on the Black European side. We really don't fucking know.
And it looks like they had some minerals on the land because one of the patents, it says assigned for automation. And then it says mineral patent placer. 15 statute 251. I gotta read that. I don't know what that means exactly, but it looks like it was assigned and the minerals were extracted from the land.
Oh,
That's
that brother
crazy.
That's a deep.
Unum sanctum. Unum sanctum.
Yeah, because there were a lot of them folks was coming out here for the gold rush.
Yeah,
for the silver.
That's why
So
I'm like, that ain't. I ain't trusting that 1865 shit.
And plus, if they had a patent that was assigned that they had, and then it was assigned for automation, it looks like it was transferred to somebody named Thomas Alderson. It looks like they just kind of took it from them. Like, yeah, we gonna take that, niggas. Y'all can't have no gold or silver. We'll just go ahead and take that. Like, that's what it looks like.
All right, family. So I just wanted to give you all an update on the Bruce Beach situation. Again, shout out to Niecy Pooh, aka Tameka, for that investigative work. And that came from our episode we aired last night on the Truth Uncompromised show with the series Mama Terra and the Consciousness of Her People. That was episode 54, and it's actually the last one in this particular series. I will make sure that I put a link to that information. Okay, so family, there you have it. I mean, it is what it is. That's why it's important for us to pay attention. It is important for us to read. It's important for us to not only just read one thing, one source of information, but read multiple things, multiple sources of information. This is literally the age of knowing, not believing, knowing. You have access to this information at hand. Your consciousness is able to take this information in and start putting these pieces together to get the holistic truth. Okay? So I just wanted to give you all the update. I hope everyone's doing well on this Friday. And again, I want to thank Tameka for that excellent investigative reporting. And I also want to thank my other co-host at night, son Scotty, and nephew Nuwa. And the entire, like I said, episode family. We went through so much stuff. I'm literally going to have to chop it up in pieces because it was different topics, and I'm going to share that with the podcast. So you're going to hear some racy language podcasts on this one because that's how we get down on a live show. But anyhow, I wish everyone well on this Friday morning. And if you're not subscribed to us, I highly encourage you to subscribe to us, like, and share. This is Rhonda with WTUZ Radio Podcast. Peace and love, family.